أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا، ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This narration hadith came from the Holy Prophet when he said, "Verily Hussein is the shining light of guidance and the ark of salvation." Definitely, we define our choice to be in the camp of Imam Hussein. We did define our choice. And we define our choice, our potential to defend Imam Hussein's mission. So let's evoke all the choices in our mind and keep them in our conscience. But now we want to reverse this evocation. Suppose Imam Hussein exists in our time, exists with us in his body, and all evil forces clashed against him. Now, in the first choice, we kept Hussein in our conscience, we kept Hussein in our mind, and we define our road to defend Hussein. But now Hussein is with us in his body, and all evil forces clashed against him. And we heard him saying, "Ala min nasirin yansuruna." Is there any helper to help us? Is there any supporter to support us? Of course, this is a tough exam. Of course, this is a hard decision. But the motto, "Labbayka ya Hussein," authenticity of this motto manifested in this hadith, in this narration. الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. Hussein is the shining light of guidance and the ark of salvation. With consideration of this hadith, how this hadith defined the right curriculum to love Hussein, to love the shining of guidance, because the road of guidance, it is not easy road, has a great hardship, has a great misfortune, because as you know, guidance means piety, means godliness, means chastity, means integrity, means loyalty, means obedience, means supplication. Guidance is religion, is all the religion. Guidance is a right, is all the right. Guidance is justice, is all the justice. This is how we have to move toward light of guidance, toward of Imam Hussein. Light of guidance. Light, what does mean? What does do the light? Light illuminate the road for us. If there is no light, the road will be dark. If there is no light, the road will be dark. If there is light, I will distinguish between right and wrong. I will distinguish between false and the reality. I will distinguish between the road of Shaitan and the road of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the light illuminate the road for me, and the ark save a human being from drawing and from destruction. So the light of Hussein guide people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the ark of Hussein save people from deviation and from to be perished. So we have to understand the light of Imam Hussein guide people to Allah, and the ark of Imam Hussein save people from deviation, from destruction. And as ark of Prophet Noah, Prophet Noah saved the mankind from the flood. So we should benefit from the light of guidance of Imam Hussein to change ourselves for better, to change our community for better, because our communities today facing many challenges. It needs many programs for salvation and raise it civilized level. It needs many programs to raise this community, all communities, to raise them in the civilized level. This is why we need this light of guidance, and this is why we need this ark of salvation. Usually the light has a ray, but not everyone benefit from this ray. The one who will benefit from this ray, the one who has a sharp vision, and the one who has a sharp vision in his mind and in his heart. More I have a sharp vision, more I will benefit from the ray of light of this guidance of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Because Imam al-Hussein opened the road of sacrifice in front of the Ummah, opened all the kind of atmospheres which pushed the Ummah for personal interest, for materialistic interest. There were some atmospheres, they pushed the Ummah for the wrong direction. Imam al-Hussein came to change this mentality. That's why the Ummah get lost, because of following their interest, because of following their materialistic and personal interest. And we have many examples for this, especially in the Karbala. When the army of Yazid gathered, when the soldiers gathered when all the commanders gathered to kill Hussein. To kill Hussein for what? They came for what? They came because of their greed. They came for position and for money. And we heard Khawalla ibn Yazid al-Asbahi, the one who carried the head of Imam Hussein to Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. When Shimr slaughtered Imam Hussein, he took the head and he headed to Kufa. When he entered in the palace of Ibn Ziyad and he sat in front of Ibn Ziyad, he said to him, "Fill my satrap with plenty of silver and gold. املأ ركابي فضة أو ذهبا. إني قتلت السيد المحجبا." I have killed the best person, the best magnificent king. I have killed. املأ ركابي فضة أو ذهبا. إني قتلت السيد المحجبا. قتلت خير الناس أما وأبا. I killed the man who has the best parents in entire world, the best father, the best mother in entire world. This is how the Ummah it was in that time. Imam al-Hussein with his light, he is the light of guidance, opened for Ummah another road to take them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, says, "Inna al-Husayna misbahul huda." Hussein is the light of guidance, and his ark, the ark of salvation. The Prophet doesn't talk from his own desire. It is all revelation. ما ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. So when the Prophet say Hussein is the light of guidance, it is a miracle. This is a proof to us and for the Ummah, this is a miracle. Why? How? What is the proof? This is the miracle. Now, the Prophet didn't say this narration to any one of our Imams, except Ali ibn Abi Talib. The Prophet has many narrations for him. But the Prophet didn't give this description to any Imam of us. 11 Imam, none of us, the Prophet said about him, he is the light of guidance and his ark is the salvation ark. None. And we know all our Imams, they are equal in their knowledge, in their morality, in their faith, in their sacrifice. But when the Prophet said Hussein is the light of guidance, this is a miracle. How this is a miracle? How it becomes this is a miracle? It is very easy. Read Al-Quran. Al-Quran, Allah said in the holy book Quran to us, Allah sent a message to us, said, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق. I have sent you the messenger for guidance. I have sent you the Prophet to guide you. And the Prophet Muhammad, what he said? He said, the light of this guidance is Hussein. Al-Quran say, I sent the Prophet for guidance. And the Prophet Muhammad said, the light of this guidance, Hussein. So this is a miracle. So sacrifices of Imam Hussein was a light to guide people. His sacrifice in the day of Ashura was a light to guide people. And this is true. Now when we attend the majalis of Imam Hussein or hear a lecture about Imam Hussein, when we leave, we will leave these majalis with a beautiful word. We take from them a beautiful word. We take from these majalis a fruitful sentence. We take from this majalis a good behavior. When we sit and we attend the majalis of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, it is true he is the light of guidance. Because when we leave the majalis, we benefit from them with a beneficial words, with a fruitful sentence, with a good behavior. This is thanks to light of guidance, thanks to Imam Hussein. So the Prophet said, Al-Hussein, light of guidance. Now let us take one message of Imam Hussein, light of guidance, to benefit us. Someone came to him and said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, ma huwa khayru dunya wal akhirah. My master Hussein, Ya Aba Abdullah, give me something benefit me in this life and in the life after. I need some advice from you to benefit me in this life and life after. Imam al-Hussein salawatullah alayh said to him, من طلب رضا الله بسخط الناس كفاه الله أمر الناس ومن طلب رضا الناس بسخط الله أوكله الله إلى الناس. This is the message Imam al-Hussein gave it to this person when he asked Abu Abdullah, give me something benefit me in this life and life after. Imam al-Hussein said to him, if you please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and making people angry, Allah will protect you from people. But if you please people by making Allah angry, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you back to people. This is the abbreviation of Al-Islam, a great wisdom, a wonderful wisdom. Try this wisdom to solve this conflict between us, solve the conflict or attitude of a human being between us and people from one side, and between us, people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you please Allah by making people angry, Allah will protect you from people. But if you please people and by making Allah angry, Allah will give you back to people. Go to people, let they help you and let they protect you. A human being has a conflict between what Allah wants from him and what people want from him. If you check your memory, probably you will see how many people they want from you something wrong. It has disobedience of Allah, and what it was your reaction. Check your memory. See how many people they ask you for something wrong. And if you do this wrong, you will disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and see what it was your reaction. Did you please people? Did you please them? No. Did you please people by making Allah angry? Or you did do the opposite? Did you surrounded your will to people, or you kept your will strong for the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You think you can please people all the time? You cannot please people all the time. You cannot. Never you please people. You please them maybe 1 hour, and they come again to you, and they come again to you, and they come again to you. So to please people, make people happy all the time, what they want, it is impossible. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullah alayh said, رضاء الناس غاية لا تدرك ورضاء الله غاية لا تترك. Very nice. You please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more important than you please people, because you will never make people pleased and satisfied. You cannot achieve this purpose, Ali ibn Abi Talib said. Pleasing people, it is impossible. You cannot achieve this purpose. But please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you shouldn't ignore it. You have to work with it all the time to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Imam Ali says, pleasing people, it is impossible, what does mean this to us? It means please people, it is not important because you cannot achieve it. To please people, it is not important because you cannot achieve it. No matter what you do to people, they are still not happy with you. But you have to work and you have to work and you have to work to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't say here we have to have a bad relationship with people. No, there is a conflict sometimes between obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or surrounding to people. This is what means this hadith. Otherwise, why this revolution of Imam Hussein happened? Why this sacrifice happened? Why this loss in the souls it happened? For what? Just ask yourself, and I ask myself, why did this revolution happen? Did this revolution happen to please people or to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Of course, will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What Imam Hussein salawatullahi alayh, if he said to Yazid, yes, then there is no war. There is no war will be. There will be no tragedy of Karbala. But Imam al-Hussein say, I will please Allah, not to please Yazid, not to please the army of Yazid. I would never do that. Otherwise, they say, they come to Hussein and they say to Hussein, they said to him, أولا تنزل على حكم بني عمك فإنهم لن يروك إلا ما تحب. If you surrounded with orders to your cousin, they would please you. They will give you goodness. They will give you everything you want. Imam al-Hussein said, no, I never put my hand in hand of Yazid. I will never run away like a slave while facing you. But I swear by Allah, Wallahi, لا أعطيكم بيدي إعطاء الذليل ولا أفر فرار العبيد. So he didn't just say this hadith, he practiced this hadith in the day of Ashura. And this hadith, we mention it when Al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi said, if you please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making people angry, Allah will protect you from people. But if you please people by making Allah angry, Allah will give you back to people. Go to people. They will protect you. They will care about you. This is the abbreviation of Al-Islam. Now, each one from us, there are three forces control him, control us, control you, control him, control her. Every one from us, there are three forces control him. Say, for example, say which force they are. We have three forces. We have a soul force, we have a spirit force, and we have a social force. What does mean a spirit and soul force? Soul force, the force inside yourself, قوة النفس, will push me and push you and push all of us to work for our interest. For example, you don't need to call me, go find a job. Or I don't need to call you, go find a job. Or go study. Or go do something. There is a force inside yourself. And there is a force inside myself, inside ourselves, pushing us to go educate ourselves, to go to work for our subsistence, to support family, to go get married, and so on. They called it, this is قوة النفس, force of soul, soul's force. We have another force control us. We called it a spirit force, قوة الروح. And قوة الروح is very important force. If the human being believe in this force, he will be very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, we'll give example. For example, you come to the majlis in the day of Ashura, and you sit in the majlis, and you donate in the majlis. You donate to the majlis. The majlis doesn't give you money. You donate to the majlis. Then you come, you waste with your time, you waste with your money. Why did you come? Or you come for Jumu'ah prayer. You come for Jumu'ah prayer. You leave your work and you come 1 hour. Of course, you will lose money if you are a medical doctor or you are a businessman and you make a good income. In that 1 hour, you will lose money when you leave work. But even you lose money, even you lose $1 million, that hour you come to the mosque, that hour you come to the mosque and you pray for Allah, it is worth it for you more than all the life, more than many millions dollars. This is the spirit force inside you. The spirit force, قوة الروح, if it was inside ourselves, will do a miracle inside ourselves. What is the work? What is the life? What is the business? What is the interest? I will go to the mosque no matter what. This is قوة الروح, pushing you to be closer to Allah and closer to Allah. But we have another force control us. This is a social force. A social force impact ourselves and we impact the community. You cannot live alone. You have to live with people. So this social force impact me and impact you and impact all of us, affecting us. But Al-Hussein said, be careful here. While you are with people, you have to please Allah, not to please people. Because if you please people and you make Allah angry, so Allah will be angry on you and Allah doesn't care about you. We have many examples in our lives for this social force. We have to pay attention for that. Now, if someone invite me for wedding, and I know in this wedding many things haram. I know in this wedding, alcohol, dancing, whatever, it is a mixed party, whatever. I know it is haram. Something haram in this party of wedding. And this is my friend invited me for his son wedding. If I go to this wedding, I will please my friend, but I will make Allah angry. If I don't go to this wedding, I will make my friend angry, but I will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see where is the conflict? You see how social force work inside ourselves. Al-Hussein alayhi salam, from his revolution, from his advice, wanted to teach us to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the top of our list, not in the bottom. Because this is the abbreviation of Islam, and this is the message we learn it from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. That's why the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, when he said Hussein is the light of guidance. This is the light of guidance. Al-Quran say, messenger, we send the messenger for guidance. The Prophet came and he said, but you need a light for this guidance. Who is the light? This is Al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. He is the light of guidance to Allah Azza wa Jal. Al-Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam left Al-Medina 28th of Rajab, heading to Mecca. And he left Mecca 8th of Dhul Hajj in the year 60 Hijriya, heading to Al-Kufa. So Imam Al-Hussein, he came to visit the grave of his mother Fatima, and he knows where is the grave of Fatima. So he came to a grave of his brother Imam Hassan. So later he came to the grave of his grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And Hussein knows there is no return again to Al-Madinah. So he came to the grave of the Prophet and he prayed 2 rak'at namaz next to the grave. Then he put his hand on the grave of the Prophet and he cried out. He cried and cried until he felt asleep a little. Then he saw the Prophet in his dream with a group of angels. And the Prophet said to him, Habibi Hussein, my beloved Hussein, Noor Aini ya Hussein, the light of my eyes ya Hussein, Allah wished to see you sacrificed. Then Hussein left Al-Madinah, came to Mecca, and left Mecca heading to Al-Kufa, and in the road to Kufa met Al-Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi, commander of Yazid army. Al-Hurr was looking for Hussein in the desert. Al-Hurr was looking for Hussein in the desert. He is the one who prevented Hussein from entering Al-Kufa unless pledge allegiance to Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Of course, Al-Hussein rejected that. Then, after many conversation between him and Imam Al-Hussein, he said to Al-Hussein, Ya Aba Abdullah, you cannot go back to Al-Madinah. You come with me to Al-Kufa, or I have to write to Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad what I will do more with you. But while I am writing and dispatch someone to him, we could choose a road. This road doesn't let you enter Al-Kufa and doesn't let you go back to Al-Madinah. يا أبا عبد الله خذ طريقا نصفا لا يدخلك إلى الكوفة ولا يرجعك إلى المدينة. Select a route which neither take you to Al-Kufa nor lead you back to Al-Madinah. So they walked until the horse of Imam Hussein stopped. The Imam getting here some signal. He knew there is something getting on Imam al-Hussein when his horse stopped. He knew there is something getting on now. Imam al-Hussein was told by his grandfather, you will be martyred in the land called Karbala. So Imam al-Hussein asked his companion, does anyone know the name of this place? Of course he is Imam. He knows the name of this place. But when Imam asked them, he wanted them to pay attention about importance of this land. This land is a sacred land. So someone said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, they called it Shati al-Furat. Someone said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, they called it Al-Ghadiriyat. Someone said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, they called it Al-Taf. Someone said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, they called it Nainawa. They gave him many names. But this is not the name Imam Hussein looking for. Until someone say, Ya Aba Abdullah, this is Karbala. They called this place Karbala. So Imam raised his hand and says, Oh Allah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-karbi wal-bala. I seek refuge to you from anguish and affliction. Because Karbala, the name of Karbala, compound of two names, Karb, anguish, and Bala, affliction. So Imam al-Hussein here found the Jama'ah also around this land. They called Bani Asad. They said, this land belonged to us. He purchased this land from them with a 6,000 dirham. But he asked them to do him a favor. He requested from them something. He said, this land we will be martyred here and we will be buried here. I ask you to help my visitors to guide them to our graves. So Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam turned his face to his companions and said, انزلوا ها هنا محط رحالنا وها هنا مناخ ركابنا. This is the land will witness our sacrifice. This is the land that would quench with our blood, so the tree of Islam can grow. This is the place where they will kill us. This is the place where they kill my sons. This is the place where they will burn our tents. And from here وها هنا تحرق خيامنا وها هنا تسبى نساؤنا. From here our wives, our children will be prisoners and captives. When Zainab heard these details, look like her tongue was saying, خويا عسى لا طالت ايامي واشوفن كربلة بعيني. I was hoping my life will not be long, and I don't see Karbala in my own eyes. واخوتي مذبحة وادور على اللي يحاميني, and I see my brother slaughtered, and I am looking for helper and protector. More Zainab, she thinks this is maybe a dream. She says to Hussein, I wish ya Aba Abdullah, this is not a real, this is a dream. والله تمنيت حلم واقعد بحلمي وافزن من نامتي والقاك يمي. My brother Hussein, I wish it was a dream, not real, and I wake up and find you near me. والله تمنيت حلم واقعد بحلمي وافزن من نامتي والقاك يمي, واشبقنك واشمن ريحة امي, and hug you Hussein and perfume, the perfume of my mother Fatima. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون, والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم اشف مرضانا, اللهم اقضي حوائجنا, اللهم ارحم أمواتنا وأموات المؤمنين. For all مرحومين, please recite سورة المباركة الفاتحة with الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل